Welcome back, Razor Adventure fans. As you can tell from the title, we are kind of in trouble.
Welcome to Razor Adventures.
So let me give you the whole story. We had Ava's birthday party yesterday, and my brother and sister and their families came out, and I gave some people some rides in the turbo. And I parked at the front yard, or the side yard, I guess, where we wash them. And we went to put it back in the garage before everybody went home, and this happened. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that was the starter spinning and no engine turning. In fact, I probably shouldn't have done that because we've kind of jumped ahead in the project. I couldn't find the batteries for my GoPro. I'll go around this way. So I kind of delayed filming, but we've been digging into this on a Sunday morning because we have the bridge ride in 3 weeks. I think we leave for the bridge ride in 3 weeks. So we are going to be pushing to get parts, depending on what's wrong. So the starter spins, but it's not activating the flywheel. So far, just to make room, we pulled the tire off, pulled up the shock, got it out of the way, taken out the crank sensor, I'm assuming that's crank sensor, and got these hoses up. Christopher's got all the bolts out of this cover, and now I'm gonna try and pry the cover off. All right, we're gonna pop this cover off. I wanted to videotape it because we're probably gonna make a mess, and I want to remember this mess. I thought I'd found a spot to pry on. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Popped it there. Is it in a spot here? I don't know. Okay, that's the only spot it's gonna pop. Looks like we're gonna finagle it around here. I can feel something holding here. Don't want to get my finger pinched in the aluminum here either. This is the area where the starter's at, and it's holding in there for some reason. There it goes. I think we're gonna have to get a new gasket, maybe. Sorry, crank sensor. Stick you over here. We'll clean that up before we put it back together. But got a little bit of oil coming out here. Oh, you know what it is? This is a stator cover. It doubles as the stator cover, and the stator, for those who don't know, is how an engine, like a small engine, and the Razor engines, they create their electricity, the amperage to power, recharge the battery, run the motor. So actually I'm pulling against a magnet right now. So I'm gonna get a good hold on her here. And try not to bleed. There we go. Whoa, and I think we found the problem, George. look in this. So what I'm seeing here is this shaft coming from the starter. Looks like it's in good shape. We'll have to look at a picture of it and see what it's supposed to look like. And we've got this just flopping in the wind here. So we are gonna take a beat and try and figure out how to get this out of here and see what's behind it. Yeah, but here's a chunk of, oh, I guess that's just sealant, but this gasket might still be good too. Obviously we'll torque it down, put a little bit of RTV right there to help, but we'll torque it back to specs when we get it off. But right now, oh shoot, we should have blew this engine off too. Okay, we're gonna do some cleanup and figure this out. Okay, so it took a second. We ordered yesterday a tool. This came from Amazon. I literally ordered it yesterday. Last time you seen me, it was yesterday. Delivered it today on Memorial Day or Labor Day. It's a tool that threads onto here and it's gonna pop the stator off. What we found after we were looking, we found our flywheel back here. You see my finger probably better. The flywheel is flying back and forth. I don't know if you can hear that or not. The tinging. It's not supposed to do that. These have a one-way clutch on the back for the flywheel. So when it gets driven, it's supposed to push the motor. And when it's not, it just freewheels. Well, this is freewheeling both ways. So we're guessing the clutch is bad. So we're gonna screw our tool on here, and I'm finding out this is a little bit more difficult than it looks because this is all one big magnet. And so lining this up and getting it started is, I'm a liar, because it went on really easy. So we're gonna tighten this down, and then we're gonna hit her with the impact. Oops. Let's take this right out. This is left-hand thread, and this is right-hand thread. Not sure why. That's the way it is. Then these it's a Sprague clutch is what it is. And it's from Polaris. It's $200. I found one on Rocky Mountain ATV for $30. I'm usually suspicious of cheaper parts, but at this second, the difference between spending $200 and $30 could mean a lot to me right now. So we're gonna roll with the $30 part as long as as soon as this comes off, we'll know for sure here. I don't know how far to tighten this down. I'm gonna guess that far. All right. Excuse my big head. That's threaded about way over halfway down those threads, so shouldn't have a problem. There's a keyway in here, so this is just going to pull straight off.
How are you going to get it back on?
With the bolt. The bolt and the washer will actually suck it back flush against the crankshaft. Uh-huh. There it comes. All right. Perfect. I'm gonna guess that those bolts are supposed to be connected to those bolts. What do you think?
I don't know. Kind of looks like they broke.
All right, let's take this off. Oh goodness! I'm gonna cut my hand open here. All right. Boy, that was easier than I thought. I mean, the clutch was difficult, but
See the bolts?
here we are. We'll pull this right off. Oh, look, that's it. That is a timing chain guard. I thought so. So that's a timing chain tensioner, and the slide guard helps it run. But I don't see any metal shavings in there anywhere. And honestly, just those bolts being broke off there like that.
So yeah, those are the bolts.
I wonder if this comes apart here. Oh, yep, it does.
I mean, that's probably how they got the things on.
Yeah, so the flywheel's good. But look at those.
Oh, jeez.
Busted right off. So we got Allen bolts. So I'm wondering myself
Sheared almost right in half.
if this clutch is still good even. We might be able just to pick up some bolts for this. Because it's... Uh-oh. Okay, I'll let it... But, how do we take that off again? Oh, like this. Like that. Okay. Alright, so let's put this back on. But I'm wondering if this clutch is still... Yeah. Oh, well. I have to get the sprigs pushed back on here, but... Okay, so it spins one way, like that, but it catches this way. So that sprite clutch is still good. So honestly, all we need is new bolts. I wonder how those got broke like that. That's freaking crazy. All right, well, good thing we, man, oh man, that is so cool. This is heavy duty too. I mean, I guess it spins over a 168 horsepower motor. But yeah, that sprite clutch is still good. There's nothing broke there. That ding-dinging we were hearing, that was the bolts jiggling around back here. So that Allen head will come back through the back side and screw into this, our stator, which as we can see here, they broke right off. That is crazy. And there's our keyway right there. That'll just slide right back on, but holy smokes, guys. All right, let's, oh, look at that tool. Tool's coming right off too. Fabulous. So the next problem we're gonna have is getting these bolts out of here. I'm hoping that this just, oh goodness. So the bolts go through here into the stator. So that's gonna be an issue. But we just did it with those wheels. We removed some broken off bolts, so I guess that's what we're gonna have to do. Luckily for us, we can come in from the top side and use a right-hand drill bit, and we'll just try and drill until they screw themselves out. And then I think this will come right off. Maybe it doesn't. And then we'll be able to get the bolts. If I can't get them from the Ace Hardware, which is, I don't know if I'm gonna go to Ace Hardware or not, but maybe Fastenal or something will go down there tomorrow. Oh, look at this. That's weird. That was on the shaft too. If it's an assembly thing or what?
Yeah, maybe it's some kind of paper thing that they put in there. Maybe forgot to take it out or something like that.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like something you'd want to stick in your engine. It's got to be some kind of assembly thing. Yeah, maybe the engine was just covered and they just slap it all together and it disintegrates or something. But all right. Well, we're gonna take this apart and start trying to get these bolts out. So we'll catch up with you in a second. All right, so that's it. Sorry, my assistant walked away. So I went from the top side with a regular right-hand drill bit, and just yeah, and drilled down in there, and it screwed them right out. So here we are. Here's our 3 broken bolts. Yeah, that sprite clutch is fine. So I don't even need the $30 version. We just need the 3 bolts here. Never thought I'd see that. I was so worried. So, all right, we're gonna do some hardware shopping. If we can get bolts today, we're gonna get them. If not, I'm gonna have to make a venture out to the big city and see what we can find. So, stand by. In almost 2 weeks, we got some bolts in. Here's the Polaris part number. They didn't stock them, so we had to wait. So we're starting to reassemble. I have to take the clutch nicely off of the flywheel, flip her over, and bolt it back in to the stator. It's relatively simple. And I got the torque sheet here, and it's going to take 9 foot-pounds of torque. The tricky part is going to be mating these two back together. Still don't know what caused these to shear off. I guess if it breaks again right away, we'll know something's wrong. But the clutch and everything moves fine. And if you're wondering why I'm using this really long bit, it's because I couldn't find any other ones. But it's a T5. So I've got my torque wrench preset. To 9 foot-pounds. There it is. Now these bolts come complete with Loctite. And there it is. We'll check them one more time here. There's one. Ouch. 2. There we go. All right, so everything is cleaned up. Set this down. We're gonna need this in a second. And let's try and mate these two back together here. Okay, so I got it together. I had to give her a little bit of pressure. But see, this is how it works. When the engine spins, or when it's running on its own, the engine's turning this way. It doesn't affect the flywheel at all. And when it stops, the starter's always engaged, and it'll push it this way. You know, see how it freewheels this way? It'll push it this way, the direction the engine turns, to start it, and then once the engine turns on its own, it disengages. So that's how the one-way clutch works. We're going to put this back together. Come on over here. We've got, I can't remember what they called this gear, but this is the gear that's in between the starter and the flywheel. So I'm going to set this back in here. And then, see the keyway right here? Well, there's a key right here. And those line up. Oh, actually, this has to go in first. All right, so we got that lined up there. And these are the teeth that are going to mesh in to the flywheel. And these are the teeth that mesh into the starter. So this gear is always engaged with the starter. But it's a one-way gear, so this will spin the motor over. See how it's not going both ways now? Haha, we fixed it. For now. So we'll set that back in there. And when we put this case back on, this dowel right here will line that up. And everything will be, because it's meshed right now, but that dowel will keep everything nice and tight where it's supposed to be. So I think we're ready to set this back on. Everything's cleaned up and good to go. There's no damage to the gasket, so we're going to run it. If it leaks, we'll just replace it, but it'll just be a little slow oil leak if it does. So I'm not too concerned about ripping gaskets off and replacing those. It's in good shape. So this might be a little difficult because this magnet here, make sure I got that dowel lined up with that gear. Oops, see? That magnet grabs right on. Oh, hey, we should probably bolt this stator back on. All right, we'll start over. We gotta bolt the stator back on. I was getting ahead of myself. Goodness gracious. Oh, oh no. Now we have to start completely over because the clutch came apart again. Okay. Oh no, now it's magneted together. Dang it. Oh, cut. Okay, Laura. Okay, so I got that problem fixed. That was miserable pulling that off there and stuck in that case. So we're gonna get this put back together. Oh, it went way easier the next time. All right, so let's try this again. We're gonna put this back in along the keyway here. We have to get to the keyway. There we go. All right. Keyway. All right, where's the other gear at? Hand me that other gear, please. All right. Oh, my fingers are so tired. All right, we'll put this bad boy in here like this. We're all meshed together, and this time, uh-oh, where'd my bolt go? Oh, it's in the tray. This time, we're actually going to bolt this to the crankshaft like it's supposed to be. So the torque spec on this is 120 pounds. So, oh, I gotta find my impact. 120 foot-pounds, so we're gonna grab the impact and pop that on before we get going again. All right, we got that taken care of. Now we're gonna put this back on for a second time. But since we're bolted to the crankshaft, it shouldn't be as big a deal. It's gonna magnet in there, that's not a big deal. Just gotta get it in place. Just gotta get it in place. Oh, this was easy to do, everybody could do it, right? I think we just got it. There we go. Fight the magnets here for a second. There we go. We are lined up. You can tell because all the holes are lined up. All right, let's start putting these bolts back in. There's still blue Loctite on them, so we're just gonna leave them the way they are. These are also at 9 foot-pounds. So I'm just gonna swap out sockets on my torque wrench and torque all these down. I'm gonna try and do like a cross pattern just to kind of tighten it down equally. And we'll catch you up from there. All right. Oh, right there, okay. So we've got everything torqued down here. Put the crank sensor back on. Got that torqued down. I don't see anything else. We are going to change the oil. But right now, Sheena, why don't you go ahead and fire it up. Make sure it's in park. Well, there it is. Don't you mind that other stuff. That's just not sure what that is. It's just stuff floating around. Might have been oil or something burning off. Oh, this is dust. Look at that dust. Anywho, we're running. We're ready to go. Thanks for watching this little repair video. Hope you learned something. I know I did. Mistakes were made, but we move on. And we'll see you in the next one.